I just felt it. I felt it in my spirit, and I was like, I'm gonna meet somebody tonight. I knew it. So we got dressed. We went out and we drove around for at least 2 hours or so. We only got out the car at least one time to go pee at the Epicenter. That was it. We drove around and then we came across the Brooklyn Lounge. I don't know if that's the name of it right now. It's right across from Spectrum Center in that little parking lot. We noticed that there are people doing donuts in the parking lot. So she was like, oh, let's go see what they're doing. So we pulled up in the parking lot and she's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, and she was like, oh, let's go ask this guy what he's doing. So she pulls over to this car and I look to my right and I see this beautiful chocolate man. He's sitting in the driver's seat and I'm like, hello, you know. He's like, hello. We tried talking through the window, but obviously it was just so freaking loud. We couldn't hear each other. So he was like, all right, let me get out the car. So I watched him get out the car. I saw that he was tall, chocolate, and well put together. He had a nice smile, nice skin. I was like, oh, God, you know, that's my type. That's my type. I was all excited. I was like, oh my God, this is the person that I was feeling. Like, I just knew again I was gonna meet someone. So he gets out the car, we start talking, I get his number, and we start texting. We were gonna meet up later that night, but something happened, I don't know. But we ended up meeting up the following morning just to chat and get to know each other. We met at the park, and I pretty much told him everything that I told y'all in my spiritual awakening journey part 1. And how I was in the midst of dealing with somebody, going through all these different issues. Like, I was very open about my past. So I asked him, I was like, you know, what do you have going on? And he kind of gave me the side eye, like, kind of seeing somebody, but not really. And I explained to him, I was like, you know, I'm practicing celibacy, and I keep meeting guys who are throwing me off that path. So I asked him, I was like, is that something that you're into? Would you be willing to wait? And he was like, you know, that's crazy. He said, my pastor just spoke about that. He told me the same thing that my cousin's husband told her, like right before they got married. He pretty much said that he was getting ready to propose to his girlfriend, and something in him just told him that she was not the right one. And the next girl that he met, obviously, you know, he ended up marrying her, and that was my cousin. I saw him as a reflection of myself because we shared so many different similarities. Again, like even the building where we worked, I didn't know that he worked there prior to me coming in. He went to school for broadcast journalism, just like me. And the first thing that he asked me when he met me, he was like, are you a Christian? I was like, oh my God, I think I met the one. I said, again, I felt him coming. I was like, oh my God, this is the one, this is the one. It was just so much. I really considered him to be a twin flame. So I was like, okay, when am I gonna see you again? So we made a date to hang out for the next couple of days, but we were texting every day, really keeping the communication open and going. So the day of, we were getting ready to hang out again. This time I came very relaxed. I had my natural hair out. I had like my workout stuff on. I was really dressed down because, you know, we were going, we met at the lake just to sit and talk, whatever, possibly hike. But we sat down, we talked for hours about our family and about our spiritual life, things like that. And I was like, yeah, you know, I would love to go to church with you, blah, blah, blah. So we had a really good time. So right after we finished hanging out, I remember he told me that he was gonna go home because we got up at like 5 in the morning to go to the lake and hang out and talk. So he was like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and when I wake up, I'm gonna hit you up. I was like, all right, cool. He woke up. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get a text or anything. So I decided to reach out, and I was like, hey, I'm just checking in. Is everything okay? He was like, yep, everything's good. Okay. I noticed a trend with him. Some days he'll be very hot, and some days he'll be very cold and distant. And I was like, all right, I don't do that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I was like, all right, I had to check myself. I was like, hold up. If you think I'm gonna let a motherfucker breadcrumb me after everything that I've been through, you're out your motherfucking mind. I asked him, I was like, are you trying to get to know me or not? Because again, after everything that I've been through, I'm not going to let someone breadcrumb me. I'd rather just walk away, because when people are in my life and they're causing a disturbance or like, you know, that type of uncertainty, it disrupts my peace of mind. And I value myself so much to the point where I'm not gonna allow myself to stress over someone's uncertainty of me. So if you're not interested, I told him, I was like, if you're not interested, I prefer you to just say that and be blunt about it, so we're not wasting each other's time. You being hot and cold in itself, that pretty much speaks volumes about the situation that we have. And he gave me a horrible excuse. I don't remember exactly what he said specifically verbatim, but he pretty much just blamed it on him taking care of his mom or whatever like that and other issues. And I was like, horrible excuse, because you were active before then. And it takes 15 seconds in a text, but okay. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna respond to the message. I'm just gonna let that sit there. And I'm gonna let that always be a reminder to him that he fucked up. So I ended up snooping around, you know, because I'm FBI low-key. And I found out that he ended up choosing another woman.